everyone, my name is Vuvu and this is Vuvu Vena Reads. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, please consider pressing the red subscribe button down below, and if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back fam, and thank you very much for choosing me once again. And as the title suggests, today I'm bringing you my 5-star ratings of the year 2020. There are 9 in total, and without any rambling,
So Vuvu Vena Reads is an amazing book reviewer, also YouTuber. She reviews books on YouTube, and if I'm not mistaken, she also has a blog as well. So please, if for your connection with literature, get in touch with or follow at VUVUVENA_reads. She is based in South Africa, and I think it is also extremely important to follow literary content creators who are based outside of the West and in continental Africa, because they do a really good job of bridging the gap.
We appreciate you, Vuvu, for bringing us Turning Pages and for bringing us your BookTube channel.
You know, this is a chance for people to actually see some people that I really enjoy.
please consider pressing the red subscribe button down below, and if you're a returnee, welcome back fam.
Vuvu, you're amazing. Thank you so much for your time.
So by now you have probably watched my list of books that I've already read in 2020, right? That I read in 2020, and you will have seen some of these books. So what I'm going to try and do for you guys on this video is to tell you what I loved about these books particularly. It's not going to be a review, it's not going to be long, it's just to share with you that 1 or 2, maybe even 3 things that I liked, and then at least you won't feel like I'm giving you the same video twice, because I wouldn't like to do that and I wouldn't like to watch them. Okay, so let's start with, I won't go in any particular order, I'll start with whatever is in front of me. So that being The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. By now you guys know that I love this woman with all my heart, but I think the thing that keeps me falling back in love with her is her treatment of blackness. I think that's how I can say, I can articulate that, is how she treats being black, and how she reminds us of who we are and our worth through her books. It's as if that was her life's mission, to say yes, they'll see you as whatever is covering your skin, but eventually you will find out the magic that they don't see. I don't know how else to explain that, and I love how she does it. And obviously I think because she's an older black woman that I'm reading, I do get that sense of, I want to say Mama Toni whenever I read her books, and I love that. And I think those are comfort stories for me, comfort narrators for me, the women that I can read and feel that sense of, I belong to you and you belong to me, whether or not we know each other. I don't know if that makes sense. So that's why I loved The Bluest Eye, and obviously it is exploring the issue of identity, the issue of acceptance, the issue of colorism, and this whole notion of beauty and what it can do to a child and what it can do to a society. So that's The Bluest Eye. Then we've got Heavy Here by Kiesi Lemon. And the one thing about the book for me is 2 things. Is the writing, unmatched. Like, I don't want to come across as though I'm exaggerating, but in the books that I read in 2020, I have not yet seen this kind of writing in any of the books that I read. Absolutely unmatched. This is a non-fiction, it's a memoir, and those are my favorite types of non-fictions. If I'm being upfront with you, I love memoirs. I love them. And the other thing, the second thing, is the vulnerability for me. And when you couple these 2 things together, he created fireworks with this book. Like, this is a story that will last and last and last and last in the minds of all the readers who pick it up. It is a story that will also break you, like I said, and probably knit you back together. And it is a story of awareness of how we behave towards other human beings and what effects that has on people. And it is also a very, I think at its core, it's also a love story. It's a story about falling in love with yourself and accepting the people around you for who they are, flawed as they are. It is something that I think the world needs to open up and actually consume. It is ridiculously good. Ridiculously good. Loved this with my entire being. Loved. And then I've got 2 books by the same author, but I love them for different reasons. And that first one is Naledi, His Love. I rated this 5 out of 5. It is the 3rd book in the xoxo series. I loved this because the books show us different perspectives of the Zulu brothers. Those of you who have seen my reviews, you will understand what the series is about. In this story though, we get to see a different side to one of the brothers and the love affair that he has with Naledi, who is not the typical woman that a man in his position would fall in love with. It is the love story element of this, because this book is full of stuff, right? There's stuff that Dudu explores in the series, but that one thing in the story is, I think, the anchor of the story, and it's so well told, so desirable. You know, when you are watching or listening to or even reading a love story that is so desirable, like there's no tragedy. It's not like a Romeo and Juliet doomed whatever. It's a story of love that you are like, oh my heavens, what a love. That's what she does with this specific love story, and I think that's why a lot of people love this 3rd book in the series, because she's allowed the man to be more vulnerable than the man in the 1st book, and she's allowed the woman to be so endearing. It's lovely, very lovely, and I think that's what makes it so beautiful. And then the book that follows this is called Ikunga, which is the 4th book in the series. I loved this because I'm a person who loves to understand things. I really sat there and I thought, you know what, when Dudu wrote this book, she wrote it for me, because there's so much drama in these books, right? And there's so much that you come to accept without really trying to delve deeper. Like on the surface, you're like, okay, whatever. Like, this is how these characters have been made. Let me just stick with the story and what the author is giving me, and I can formulate my own context if I want to, or I can continue and just say I'll never know, but I'll continue reading. And don't get me wrong, it's not like the story has gaps. There's no need for that, but you do question just how people can become the way that they are in these, like the characters, how they became who they are and the way that they are. And then boom, she gives you this and it tells you all you need to know. And I'm the kind of person who wants to know all I need to know. So this was really perfect for me. It is my favorite book in the series so far. It is my favorite book in the series so far. And just even how she's written it, I'm like, I still don't know who the narrator is, which is clever on her part, because I kept sitting there and saying, who is telling the story? Eh? All along I've known like the different books and the characters that we know's perspectives, but I have no idea who this is. I don't even know if the person telling this story is dead or alive, child. I don't know. But still, that's part of, I think, the cleverness of this book. I absolutely loved it. I will be doing a review on all of Dudu's books. So I have done a review on Hlumu the Wife and Zandile the Resolute. You can look out for Naledi, His Love, as well as Ikunga. I'm currently reading the 5th book, which is Mess, and you won't regret it. Then you have Mr. Chigozie Obiama's The Fisherman, his debut novel. He's a Nigerian author. Absolutely loved the exploration of family in this book. of familial love which everybody can identify with. And I think that is the thing that grounds the book for me. The thing that will capture any reader is that they are not talking about a love that you may never have, but they're talking about a platonic love that you will definitely encounter at least once in your life, and how you navigate that, right? And it brings in a lot of things about oracy, about jealousy, about misunderstanding, about sacrifice, about love, about rumor, about insecurity, and just how far you'd go for your brother and how far you wouldn't go, and how wanting to know more than you already know right now can devastate your life and the outcomes of your life. It is something that is truly worthy of being shortlisted in the Booker Prize, because the craftsmanship in this book is absolutely divine. I did get the opportunity to chat with Chigozi Obiama about this book, and I do have that live up on this channel, so if you have not seen it yet, do go over there and check it out. And then I rated the second book in the Chronicles of Narnia, which is The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, a 5 out of 5 stars, because, child, every element was considered for a children's story. C.S. Lewis needs no praise. I don't need to tell people how great he is, but I'm here telling you that The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe still did the things in 2020. Still. And then there was Black Text, by a collection of essays by different South African, and I want to say even Zimbabwean authors living in South Africa, edited by Nick Mhlongo. The reason why I loved this collection of essays is also got to do with the element of vulnerability, as well as the things that they brought to my attention that I wasn't aware of. I've seen the discussions doing the rounds, and the thing is, the books are not always going to be everybody's favorite. Like, the books that you like won't necessarily be the next person's favorite book. But I will tell you that if you are somebody who has wondered about how people like you within the same country live, right, you will find that you'll find stories here that resonate with you, and stories that you might have never thought about happening to other people, and how the idea of this whole historical injustice, right, has affected, not the idea, how this whole historical injustice of a country like South Africa has affected every Black person, and how we have had to rely on community to survive. And the thing is, community is a Black person's thing, and it's probably true to every single country, but every single Black person in any country. But what this does is that it brings it home, and it tells you just how everybody else has navigated it. And I love the slogan, which is Burden or Ubuntu, because the different writers tell you honestly if they feel like this idea of having to lift people as you rise, right, especially if your rising is not the same as Tom's next to you, is either a burden or it's you seeing it as a Ubuntu. And if it's been a burden on you, or if you've seen it as a burden on other people that have helped you, and if it's an obligation, then if you've been helped, to help other people as well. I think that the variety and diversity of voices in here makes it something that is collectively worth your read. I hope that made sense. I really hope so. And then the other book that got a 5-star rating was Tomi Adeyemi's Children of Blood and Bone. This was a reread. It was another 5-star this year as well. Last year as well. I love the land of Orisha, which is obviously based on Nigeria. I love the character formulation that Tomi created here. I love the concept of the book. I love the details in the book. I love the idea of magic being resonated within a Black child. There is something fierce about what she has done here in terms of even her language and her creation in itself. Never mind that her characters are feisty and fierce and easy to identify with. I love this book a lot. And then my favorite book of the year, once again, I've said this so many times, is my first queer book that I ever read, based on the African continent, by Chinelo Okbaranda, and that is Under the Udala Trees. For me, this book explored homosexuality with such delicacy, such respect, such, I want to say gentleness. It did all the right things, and for somebody who had not consumed queer literature, it made me very aware and very captivated by the genre. She did something so beautiful. And then when you read her author's note right at the end, it made it even more beautiful. I don't know, sometimes when you read the author's notes, it obviously explains from where the book came from, what it means to them, why they, but this author's note will make you love this book that much more. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely worth your time. Pick it up if you see it. I will say that again, pick it up when you see it. Absolutely beautiful. And that brings to an end my 5-star reads of the year 2020. I almost said of the year, I keep forgetting we're in 2021. Anyway, that brings to an end that brings to an end the books that I absolutely loved in the year 2020. 9 of them in total, all 5-star ratings, all worth being recommended. And am I right or am I wrong? I think they're all from Africa. Okay, there's Narnia, but you get what I mean. Absolutely brilliant books. If you have not read any of them, do get a hold of them. If you have read some of them, let me know what you thought in the comment section down below. And until next time, I thank you so very much for choosing me. I love you very much. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Bye now.